What's going on, ladies and DeGents? Welcome back to another primetime special episode of the Distinguished DeGents podcast. We're giving out our Week 13 Thanksgiving and Black Friday games, picks, predictions, and handicaps on this one beautiful podcast for all you lovely degenerates. I am one half of the Distinguished DeGents. I am Steve, Big Bucks of Beta. I am the co-host, and joining me as always is my buddy, my pal, Jason Money Mansman, a.k.a. this week, the guy on the right.
Yeah.
Okay. What, we normally do a weekly recap on Wednesdays where we go over the previous week's games, we give our takes, predictions, we kind of go over things, but we're going to rapid fire this because we have a hell of a Week 13. We have the Thanksgiving games to go through, so let's rapid fire the recap. Broncos won. Bills were on a bye. We had a couple Cinny bets. So, let's talk about the Cinny bets. The Titans, I did not have them winning outright, but the cover was not a sweat.
That was my week in a nutshell.
So, I'll just say this. I tried telling you the Texans were not that good of a team. Everybody wants to believe the Titans were bad, but Will Levis has been playing better lately, and I thought this was the game he would shine, and luckily on this one I was right, so Cindy number one for Money Mansman. That is for you.
CJ Stroud, bum. Threw the game away. Two killer interceptions.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate. I think even Will Levis had a pick in that game, if I'm not mistaken, but just, I don't know what's going on with the Texans. Everybody thinks it's the sophomore slump for Stroud. The whole team has really been bad. The defense has been horrendous. Stroud's not been as good. The receivers haven't been healthy. The O-line has kind of collapsed too, every other play. I'm not sure what to equate it to other than we overvalued them. And they're just still being overvalued.
Yeah, I think they got very lucky to beat Buffalo, and they got higher valued after that game, and since then they haven't really been that good, and they're not that good.
No. Other Cindy bet we had, Chargers, Ravens, Monday Night Football. Ravens feels like it was a squeak away game for me. Like, it seemed like not a phony final because they do what they do in close games when it comes down to it. Lamar just finds ways to drive the ball down the field, but not too quickly. They give the team the other chance to come back, and this time it just kind of went their way. But Ravens do win. They get the cover on Monday Night Football. Primetime Lamar, once again, is victorious. Mansman, you and I think some of the Sharps were on the Chargers side, so give us your thoughts and takes just watching the Chargers side as a better there. Like, what was the heartbreak happened?
Another. Feel like this was the story of my week last week, where a few of the games were looking okay early on. Chargers were looking good early on, and then I think it was the third quarter. I don't remember exactly. It's been a while, and I was tired towards like the end of the game as things started to go bad. But it was just like all of a sudden, the Chargers were looking okay. But I think at halftime it was 14-13 Ravens, or maybe the Ravens were down a point. I forgot the exact numbers. But the game was close after the first half. And I was like, boy, I feel like the Chargers played a really good first half. I'm kind of concerned about that. And then sure enough, the Ravens just, after that, it pretty much became a no sweat. The Chargers got the late touchdown to sort of make it look close. But this was a game really that, midway through the fourth, I think the Ravens were up like 30-17 or something like that. And it was really
it was a one-score game the whole time, and then it just seemed like right in the fourth quarter, Quentin Johnson dropped another pass, and then he dropped another pass. Oh, look, he dropped a third pass, and then
Quentin Johnson, 5 drops in that game? Total?
Yeah, 0. There were fantasy teams out there in the ethers literally would come down to Quentin Johnson getting a single catch to lose their game. And won outright because he dropped every pass thrown his way.
Bust. 5.
Why why is that guy a starter? That's my ultimate question to you. Like, why is this guy still like a wide receiver one at that? Like, not even demoted to a 3. He just seems like he's still the one. They're still targeting him. Lad McConkey could catch everything thrown to him. He seems to be like a new Wes Welker type of player, if you ask me. That's the comparison that comes to my mind. But I just don't understand. Like, what do they see in this Quentin Johnson that thinks he could be their number one? The guy couldn't catch COVID if he was in fucking Wuhan.
Yeah, I'm tired of, again, every once in a while he has a few big plays, but the drops are, I mean, they're game crushers, and 5 drops. Just I don't know, man. That was my week. I'll leave the opening remarks with this. This was my week. This week, like, Broncos were really good. Arizona.
Oh yeah.
Best bet Arizona. Boy, oh boy. Arizona picked the opportune time to lay an absolute fucking egg. Seahawks defense can't stop the run. They couldn't fucking run the ball. Their leading rusher at 18 yards. Like, horrible week for me. I had won 4 straight weeks. Well, that streak came to an end in spectacular fashion.
Oh man.
Terrible week. Terrible.
How bad?
I think I was down 6-7 units. Like, it was bad.
Oh fuck! See, like, I went 6-7 on the spread this week. I want, like, let me just triple check this because I do want to be sure. 6-7 week ATS. I think I went 7-9. Like, it literally, like, was a tale of 2 fucking tails. Only went down 3 units, but honestly, it came down to that Baltimore game. I was down like 7 units, and I really was strong. I ended up taking a couple bit of the winnings that I got and from Sunday, and I just kind of added on to the Baltimore bet, and I was like, you know what? Let me turn this from a 1 unit bet to a 2 unit bet, and let me just see if I can mitigate the deficits. It worked in my way, but not the week you wanted. Some donkey bets for you, though, and I will do Cinerators for these at some point, because when you hear me say them out loud, it's bad. Had a futures bet. San Francisco over 11.5 wins this year.
Yikes.
Quarterback out. What do, Jason? Do I bet Green Bay money line? No. Do I bet Green Bay spread? Why would I do that when I can get San Francisco plus 5.5 and try to middle the situation?
Bro, I told you that was good. Oh,
that was donkey number 1. Yeah. Donkey number 2, probably just as bad. I'm still ashamed of this. This pisses me off. Okay. Kansas City as a double-digit favorite, minus 10.5. The bet in and of itself, I thought made sense. Except I martingaled it from last week. So I didn't just bet a unit. I bet 2.5 units on this game. And it just did not go my way from jump. And I just knew by halftime it was bad. Why do I deserve a Cinerator, though? Because I look at my other bets, and I bet Carolina first quarter, Carolina first half. Even though the first quarter bet didn't come through, my brain was like, oh, well, Carolina will win the half. They'll keep it close, and then Kansas City will just run with it. That was smart. So, yeah. Now, mind you, the Tampa Bay play, that was clutch. Denver saved me some money. Yeah. And I think I had one other team that actually really... Oh, my over-under bets of the week. Those came in clutch. Those were no sweats. Seattle, Arizona, under 47.5. That was a no sweat. I had over in the Denver Raiders game. I think that was a no sweat going into the 4th, and I think that hit. So, great, decent week for points, and that's kind of where it saved me. But we have Thanksgiving, and I'm thankful for everybody that does end up tuning in, watching the show, for you, Money Management, for doing this week to week, especially on a late notice on a Wednesday, the day before the holiday. But, we got 3... dare I say, something games this year. does not seem as exciting as years past for this slate of Thanksgiving games. But overall, I know there's sharp angles. There's a lot of sharps coming in at certain points. I know the point values have erupted. Daniel Jones gone, so we can no longer fade him in a primetime slot. Danny Dimes is out. Tommy DeVito is out. We're now getting Drew Lock versus Cooper Rush for Cox.
I'm
now we have
to play doubles for Drew. I think we might have to. I think I might have to play doubles for Drew tomorrow.
I will have to post the rules for doubles for Drew. It used to be doubles for Driscoll, for the backup quarterback Jeff Driscoll during the COVID years. May have to be doubles for Drew Lock now that he's starting for the Giants this week. My fear is that he'll actually do well, but we got 4 games to go over, including the Black Friday game coming up. So I would say, which game interests you the most? What's been the overall narrative that you've been excited to go through? Like what's got you going into Thanksgiving besides, just the normal degeneracy?
Well, yeah, there's a sick, disturbed part of me, and I'm kind of upset that Dallas played so well last week because there was a sick part of me looking forward to Cowboys Giants because I thought that might be like an embarrassingly bad game, like embarrassingly bad. Like 2 of the worst teams in history, like playing football, 2 teams that had completely quit. But now it looks like, unfortunately, that Dallas might have found like something. Their defense is getting a little healthier, and the Giants have basically quit. So that's unfortunate. The real game of interest is Miami Green Bay in Green Bay.
Yeah.
That's a big game. Miami needs a win, but going to Green Bay's still chasing the division. I don't know what to make of the first game. I'm curious to see what you think of Lions Bears. So
yeah, and I think with that we can get started because I do have a couple opinions on this one. So Thanksgiving, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to kick off the Thanksgiving week. It is the Chicago Bears. Almost a 4-1 dog odds on FanDuel. They're traveling to Detroit, who are laying a minus 500 money line spot. They're a 9.5 point home favorite now. Lions were originally laying 11 points to open up, down to 10.5, now down to 9.5. Over under is set at a 48.5 point total. I'll go first here for sure, just because you are so intrigued. This is a weird. This is not Barney Bester because that normally means you just lay it on the big favorite and just blindly do it because they're clearly the better team. I had this game circled weeks ago. I'm not deviating. If Detroit beats me on this, it's fine. I could live with myself. I'm not betting a huge chunk on this one. I got this at Chicago plus 10.5, and I'm wondering if that hook is going to come into play. I think 10.5 is a gift from the gambling gods, if you ask me. I just have a weird feeling that it's going to be a sneaky way that the sharps and the public lose when they come in Thursday morning and bet the Bears minus 9.5. This, to me, has the Lions. They win by 10 or less all over. And I have a feeling this is going to be a lot closer of a game than people are anticipating. Really, because Chicago, ever since they fired their offensive coordinator, their offense has looked better. They've been operating at a higher level. They've been playing a lot closer games, albeit against worse teams. But those teams were divisional opponents. They played to one, really should have beat Green Bay 2 weeks ago. And in all honesty, think about it, they probably could have beaten the Minnesota Vikings had 1 or 2 plays just gone their way. Unfortunately, they lose that game also in overtime. So I get the sharp angle. They kind of want to fade the Bears at this point. 2 very close, tough, heartbreaking games back to back to back. With Matt Eberflus on the road where he tends to fail. And where they're just going to like egg. But I mean, look, you look at the trends, you look at history. There's one spot you just kind of bank on the Lions to lay an egg, and it's on Thanksgiving. They historically
7 straight losses Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah. And if you actually look at the Bears in the Thursday game slate, they've won 7 of their last 10 outright. They've won 4 straight Thursday road games, including 3 of them in Detroit, 2 of which might have been on Thanksgiving. And that was with Justin Fields and Mitch Trubisky. And I think this is me talking as a Broncos fan who has a rookie quarterback, this is the mentality you kind of go into it as a Chicago bettor. Is my rookie quarterback better than the guys before? If you believe that answer is yes, you kind of have to love the spot here getting these points. So I think that for better or worse, Caleb Williams might be better than Justin Fields and Mitch Trubisky. I think he gives them a better chance to win. I think Detroit, for weeks on end, the Sharks have been just trying to fade them and just hasn't gone their way. And now they're just scared that, like, this is going to be the 3rd week in a row they try to fade them and they lose. So they're just deviating. Whereas I'm kind of saying, like, where do you sell? Where do you sell? I wasn't 100% impressed with the win against the Colts last week, even though they pretty much dominated that from top to bottom. Wasn't that high scoring. Now they're going to be at home Thanksgiving, early start against a tough team who has been playing a lot of tough, hard football, playing a lot of close games, just hasn't been able to pull the trigger and win one. This to me just seems like the ultimate get-up spot for Chicago, because if they lose this, they're tanking the rest of the year. I think if they win this, that's the spark. So they're going to look to play upset. It's Thanksgiving. It's a rookie. Not the best, but I'm going with Chicago. I got it at 10.5. I still would take it at 9.5, but not as confident. I'm worried about the 10-point hook, because if Detroit does win, I think it's going to be close.
Yeah, so my old man had a rule. On Thanksgiving, you always need to bet Dallas and Detroit. That was his hard and fast rule. He ain't here anymore, though, and you've been doing well this year. I'm back in your side.
That's so fucked. Jesus God. That's my old man had a rule. Do this, but he's gone, so now we're not doing
my God. Here. No, I agree with your handicap completely, so I won't drone on too long. 100% right. I don't know what it is. Detroit has not performed on Thanksgiving recently. We gave the stat out. And especially, I think a couple times they've played Chicago on Thanksgiving recently and have struggled against Chicago. Sadly, I had Chicago last week where they did find a way to cover. Oh, they did actually cover.
3.5.
I had a bet on Chicago money line too, of course, because that's me.
Almost came through too.
Chicago's lost 2 really bad games in a row. Detroit, I just have a feeling like you. If Detroit wins the game, they win it close. I don't know if they're just going to run roughshod over the Bears on Thanksgiving. They've struggled on Thanksgiving. Detroit's been winning a lot of games pretty handily. I don't want to say it's a letdown spot. I don't know. I just think they're going to get Chicago's best effort. This is a place Detroit struggled. The numbers really, there's not a whole lot to really sort of get you to back Chicago in this game when you just look at sort of the numbers for the entire year. But Chicago's been playing better. I think Detroit's still the best team in football. I could see this being a 4-point win, 7-point win. I think Chicago gets it done. I think they cover this.
Yeah, I think if this was a Sunday game or if this was anything else other than Thanksgiving, we'd be all over Detroit. But I just think that this is one of those special spots where it's the early Thursday Thanksgiving game. You kind of just have to look at it that way, and Detroit just hasn't performed well. Matt Eberflus, though, he is 3-18 on the road straight up. 0-18 on Sundays, though. So the 3 wins tend to come on the other days.
Matt
and that's
Eberflus,
what comes into play.
3-18 on the road. Jesus Christ. This guy is fucking shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like Oh yeah, he'll be gone by the end of the year. But I just think like not a Matt Eberflus get up spot, but like I think this is the game you're getting the Bears' best efforts because of what's happened the last two. You lose back to back games, and now you have a third one in a row.
Yeah,
I don't even.
This year, Chicago covered both games. So
yeah, Chicago covered both games, and Detroit also as a 7.5-point favorite last year against Green Bay lost outright. So I mean, if you're daring, you want to put Chicago Bears money line into play. Like seeing the way they performed the last 2 weeks, I couldn't fault you. But for me, I got the hook at 10.5. I'm happy and I love it. I'm not betting it anymore, especially at 9.5. I just feel like that 10 is such a key number that you could get fucked if this goes the wrong way. But, you know, where it lays right now, if you're a game time decision, you have to pick a side one way or the other. I do go say pick Chicago with the points. But, yeah, Lions, too much of a money line bet to even think that it's worth the value. We're over under, dead under game at 47.5, but not my best play by any stretch. I had this like middle of the fucking. And out of all the 16 games, I think this is like 12th or 11th right now. It could update later, but this is under game just based on my handicap.
Yeah. I'm avoiding the over under because I don't have a feel for it for this game.
Understood. Moving on, we got the 4:00 game, aka dinner time, where everyone and their mother is going to be spending time with their loved ones and their family, reconnecting, rejoicing the previous election, talking politics. Literally doing anything else.
I'm going to be deep in doubles for Drew. That's what I'm going to be doing.
We're doing doubles for Drew. That's right, folks. Drew Lock will be starting quarterback for the New York Giants. The interesting thing, this opened at 3.5 Sunday. It has not moved a fucking inch. The Cowboys are still a 3.5-point favorite, minus 105 on the money line, plus 152 divisional road underdog, which we haven't even gone into yet, so I'll bring that up next. Yeah, the Giants are plus 152, Cowboys minus 180 money line. Over-under is set 37.5, and according to FanDuel, it looks like Dallas is a big public team this week. 84% of the bets and the money. Man, doubles for Drew Lock.
Good.
Oh boy.
Doubles for Drew. He's getting his chance. Here's my thing. So I told you my old man said you bet Detroit and Dallas on Thanksgiving. He ain't here anymore. I am going with Dallas in this one.
Wow.
I think you kind of have to. That Giants team completely quit last week, and I just don't. This game scares me because there's a part of you that says, well, you know, a bunch of Giants players said how they quit last week. They're on the road. They've been better. But when you look at it, they haven't beaten Dallas in like forever. They lose to Dallas every time they play them. And I just think, like, you look last week, this team completely quit. Dallas on the road against Washington miraculously showed some life. And to me, it's like there's really why at this stage in the year am I going to fight against that? Like, I just have a team that showed some life being dead. And the Giants literally showed no fight last week. Just nothing.
They lay down.
Dallas's defense is getting a little healthier. To me, there's only one way to look in this game, and it's Dallas or nothing, because I don't think you could put money on the Giants the way they quit last week. And you're basically, if you're betting the Giants, you're hoping to God that the Giants somehow like find a reason to play hard. But I don't know. Dallas has beaten them so many times in a row. I think it continues. I think Dallas is the better team.
Can I give you an easier handicap?
Yeah.
How many times has Daniel Jones lost to the Dallas Cowboys?
How many
Strange
times
question. I mean, precisely. This Giants team, Malik Neighbors, has come out, and not Malik. Was it Malik Neighbors?
Yes, it was soft.
He flat out came out and said we gave up our best chance to win games. It wasn't his fault we were losing.
Yeah.
It wasn't Daniel Jones. And Tommy DeVito gave them less of a... Basically, he flat out said, Tommy DeVito gave us less of a chance to win. Daboll, Brian Daboll, head coach, for better or worse, paid Drew Lock to be a permanent second string quarterback. So you're basically telling me, Daboll, you don't think Drew Lock gives you the best chance to win a game over Tommy DeVito, who just got steamrolled against the Bucs? Why would I bet Drew Lock to cover anything at this point with a team that has essentially given up, with a team that doesn't really believe he gives them their best chance to win? And I love Drew Lock. I think out of the three quarterbacks, I would have pegged him as their number one quarterback to give them the best chance to win. Because if you look at him with Seattle when he backed up Geno Smith, and they won games, believe it or not. Like, he put them in competitive positions to keep it alive. And I think that as a Giants bettor, that is what you hope for. But I got the Cowboys at 3.5. And I sat there when I saw the news Drew Lock was coming in. I was like, oh, well, this should move to 4.5, 5.5 here soon. Here we are, 9:42 Eastern Standard Time. This line has not moved a fucking inch. And the books are basically saying, yeah, it doesn't matter. This is just the line. We don't care. That tells you, I think, everything you need to know, that this Giants team is the only remaining team left on my auto fade list. The Jets have covered a game more recently than the New York Giants. Literally, the New Jersey fucking football franchises are in a competition for who could be the more dysfunctional team. And the Giants are like fucking light years away at this point. By the way, news came out with Woody Johnson and the Jets, to get a little off topic. He is apparently taking consulting advice from his 17-year-old son about roster moves and free agency pickups.
It worked in Madden. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, this Giants team is unbettable. You cannot take them under any circumstances. And doubles for Drew Lock. God bless the man. I really do hope he succeeds. I have nothing but respect for Drew Lock. It's nothing against him. I can't do it, though. This is 100% Cowboys or nothing spot. I would say out of the three games, this is your slam dunk. You just bet the Cowboys, and which is disgusting.
I'll leave you with this one. Giants podcast I listened to before the game. They were like, "Oh, Dallas 3.5-point favorites." Giants in. He's like, "That's basically automatic money. Like, bet the Cowboys. That's automatic money." So,
yeah,
even Giants fans think they're gonna lose out. Like
7 straight that the Cowboys have won, even without those 7. 2, 4, 6. 8. So 7 of the last 8. So 15-1 since 2017. The Cowboys have won.
And there's no reason to, yeah.
And even, okay, and last point I'll make, even with recency bias with the last game, that was a Thursday night special. The Cowboys really should have covered that game, but Brett Maher fucking shanked the last field goal to fucking miss the cover. But that was a Cowboys game all fucking day. In terms of over-under here, with Drew Lock, this is over 37.5.
I agree. This I feel a lot better. I would look over here. Giants defense, if they put an effort in like they did last week, a total quit show, Dallas alone could get 37.
Oh, that could be a fun team total. Dallas over team total, that could be fun. Especially at a 37. That might be a standalone bet. I might look into that live. A live bet, because that just seems, I mean, bro, that just seems too easy. If you're 30, this can't be higher than 20. That's just my thoughts, but let's see. Game lines, let's see. Is it even out yet? All right, team props, here we go. Dallas team total is set at a whopping 19.5. You could get over 20.5 at plus 100 right now on DraftKings. Mansman, your thoughts?
What's the number?
20.5 plus 100.
Wow. I might play that actually. 20 is tough because I could see Dallas getting 20, but no, I don't know. I have a feeling the Giants defense is going to quit. This feels like a quick game again.
Bro, that's three touchdowns in a whole game against this Giants defense. Bro, Baker had 30 in like 3 quarters.
I've learned with the Giants and Jets, whenever you think they've hit rock bottom, it gets worse. So I feel like this is the get worse game. Like, oh, the Giants, they quit last week. It can't get worse. I think they're going to quit on Thanksgiving and get completely embarrassed.
Yeah, I think that's a smash spot. I might do a 2-unit play on Dallas over 20.5. But moving on, we got the night game. By the way, I want to make this a note. For the sake of records purposes for this show, this is going to be considered the Thursday night football games in terms of the look-ahead records, the win-loss total afterwards, and in terms of the spot. This is Thursday night. Mainly because it's NBC Peacock, mainly because it's 8:15 on a Thursday. Other than that, and the Thanksgiving factor, I think you just look at the teams. This isn't this, like, it's not your traditional Thanksgiving game like Chicago, Detroit, Dallas. Yeah. This is the outlier, so I'm treating it as such. But we got the Miami Dolphins, who are a plus 148 non-conference road dog, traveling to the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau, minus 176. We're looking at 30-degree weather. Packers laying 3.5, minus 104. Over-under is 47.5. Oh, boy. Mansman, non-conference spot. Let me throw some conference road dogs for the AFC teams. 8-12 ATS, 4-16 straight up. Teams, I don't even think they're looking towards the bye, are they? That doesn't sound right. But AFC non-conference road teams in general, under 500 or at 500, they're 15-15 money line, 16-17 ATS. Really no significant edge there. We're getting a Miami team that came off of a victory against the fucking Patriots and the Raiders. And now they're getting I would say, a significant upgrade in the Packers. On the road, cold weather, you know the spot. This is where you fade Tua Tagovailoa. I really wanted to be on the 3.5 here with Miami with the hook. I might be pissed too that the Packers killed my Niners futures bet and they killed me last week. Tua is good on the road in this spot. As a non-conference road team, 5-2 straight up. But it's Lambeau Thursday night in the freezing cold. A spot where the freezing cold especially is a spot he does not do well in. The Thursday game also scares me. 2 Thursdays in a row he's gone in. He's gotten concussed and didn't finish the game. I hate to be that guy.
Yeah, but that's a crazy stat. Literally got concussed.
I mean, if you think about it, Cincinnati, he goes in, he was losing, he got concussed. Against Buffalo, he goes in, he's losing, he gets concussed. So I hate to say it, Tua Tagovailoa unders are completely in play here. I hate to be that guy, but like,
concussed though.
I don't want him to be concussed. But no, I just think even if he does finish the whole game, he literally got his first non-conference road cover this year against the Rams. That was 3 weeks ago. And that was when the Rams kept eating sacks despite driving the ball down the field. Jordan Love at home against the AFC, 4-0 straight up in his career, 3-1 ATS. The non-conference road team for the AFC hasn't done well. Like, I just think that 3.5 might be a little too low. And I hate betting on Green Bay, so again, not a lot of change here, but I'm going with the NFC home team here.
I tell myself every week I'm not going to bet on Green Bay, and every week I bet on Green Bay. And every week I've hit. It's so crazy. It's like Green Bay's been, I don't know what it is with them. It's like I'm back on. I hate Green Bay. I think Jordan Love has been so overrated. And every week it's like, I bet a money line, they win money line. I bet them to cover, they cover. Like, I bet a money line, they hit the money line. And look, my handicap for this one's real simple. We know that. Remember the playoff game, Miami and Kansas City last year?
Yep.
It's just we've seen this from this Dolphins team so many times. They go in the cold weather, they don't perform. Why is it going to be any different this time? Thursday night football, I think there might be snow flurries during the game. I think it's going to be like 22 degrees or some crazy shit like that. We've seen this so many times. We've seen this far too many times. We know how this game's going to turn out. Miami's not good in the cold. They're not a cold weather team. They've been a finesse team for the past few years. And like you said, too, everything's pointing against Miami. They've been playing better. But again, like you said, beat a mediocre Rams team. And then the last two games have basically played, tomato cans.
The Raiders and the Patriots at home in Miami.
Yeah. And the Rams in a dome.
Yep.
Now you're going outside in the cold. Yeah, it's Green Bay. You got to look to Green Bay here.
I'm interested on your over-under take here because I have the under in this one.
I think the under. I think Miami's defense has been okay, and I think Miami's offense is going to struggle in the cold because they have done so many a time.
Yeah, and I'll give you the Packers their home totals this game. I'll give you their game totals when they're at home. So last week they were against the Niners. They got 38. Listen to the last few afterwards. 14 against the Lions. 24 against the Texans. Well, they had 29 against the Vikings at home. 34 against the Cardinals in that spot. 16 against the Colts. The point I was going to make is that they're pretty inconsistent at home. Like, some spots they do real well. They get over 30 just seems to be the magic number for the Packers. If they get over 30, they're going to landslide victory them. This will be an over game. It just seems like if they struggle, they're dead unders.
This is feeling like a 24-14 type game. 27-14, something like that. I don't see Miami scoring a lot. So
this seems like 24-16 to me. Like an 8-point swing. And it'll be like 24-8 going into the fourth. And then they'll get another 2-point. Like, that'll be the Packers thing. Like, they'll be up 24. They'll give up a 2-point conversion. Dolphins will drive it up again. They might get another one, and it'll be like, oh, it'll be close. Like, they may have a chance, and then they just don't. So, yeah. I have under in this game. I have no faith in Jordan Love really outperforming here. Again, it's just the inconsistency. I just don't know which one I'm going to get. He had a good game last week. He has a good one this week. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, buddy.
No, I agree. I agree with that. I agree.
All right. Last game on the slate before we hop off of here. Black Friday, Amazon Prime, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. AFC divisional rivalry, the Las Vegas Raiders almost laying a 6-1 money line on the road, traveling to Arrowhead, Kansas City, and the Chiefs, who have not covered 4 or 5 straight, I want to say it is now, minus 820. They are 12.5-point home favorites against this Raiders team. No more Gardner Minshew. He is on the IR for the rest of the year. It is back to your boy, Aiden O'Connell. The over-under is 42.5 points. I'm going to look up those Chiefs stats. Give me your thoughts on this game, because I have a side. Not sure if it's the right one, but let me know what you think.
Okay, just for fun, I'm going to make this my dog of the week. Vegas Raiders plus 12.5. So, 2 things. Number 1, my boy Aiden O'Connell's back. I told you, man. He's no, that's not really.
Where's the bag?
I'm just joking. No, here's really my handicap. Why are the Chiefs laying 12.5 points again? Like, why? Have they won a game by more than 10 all year? Like, remember last week? Oh, yeah.
Wait, hang on. More than 10?
Like, how many times have they won a
Once.
game? Like, so
Once
why are
against.
they laying 12.5 points again? Why? Why?
Five failed covers in a row.
Like, that's really. You know, with Andrew O'Connell, I was gonna have to like play the Raiders because he's my boy. You know that. But the serious handicap is the Chiefs. Like, how many times have they laid big points and not covered? That's not what this team does. I remember the first time they played the Raiders in Vegas. Oh, they were making fun of Patrick Mahomes. They're going to kick the shit out of this Raiders team. And they won by 7. Like, it's 13, it's like damn near 13 points. They have to win by almost 2 touchdowns. They haven't done that all year. I don't know, man. With Aiden O'Connell back, maybe the Raiders don't turn the ball over. And I think if the Raiders could find a way to not turn the ball over, they lose this game by 10. So Raiders plus 12.5, dog of the week. Let's have a little fun. It's Black Friday. One for my old man who I made fun of in the beginning of the episode. Give me the Raiders.
Oh. Am I really going to do this? Okay. On DraftKings, the line has jumped to 13.
Oh, come on.
God, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do this. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give me my fade of the week. We are fading the Chiefs as big favorites. We are taking the Raiders at plus 13. Live bet. I got to get the current odds. I want to be sure. Yeah, you gave out a lot of the points as it is. I don't want to go over too much of what you said. Listen to this interesting stat, though. The Chiefs have averaged 24 points a game in the last 5 weeks. But if you look this year alone, they have not scored above 30 points whatsoever. Listen to the point margin, too. 7 points week 1, 1 point week 2, 5 points week 3, 7 week 4, 13 against the Saints on Monday Night Football. That was their biggest one. They then had a 10-point win against the Niners, 7 against the Raiders last time in a backdoor cover, which literally every sharp handicapper said this line is too high. The Raiders could backdoor cover this. And I'm 90% sure that game was also with Aiden O'Connell at backup. 6 against the Bucks in overtime. They lost on the blocked field goal. They lost to the Bills, and then they almost lost to the Panthers. This Chiefs team is on a downward spiral. I just think the league, this is the spot where, like, if you realize the Panthers have caught up now, the league has caught on to this team. And the Chiefs just might not be as good. And no offense, but when your offensive coordinator is a guy who got fired from Chicago, and you're wondering why the Chiefs aren't as good, I don't know, Andy. Maybe look at who you fucking have. Like, you have one of the greatest defensive minds in fucking NFL history. Fucking winning you Super Bowls. Let's ruin it by hiring the worst possible guy as an offensive coordinator. And just dumbing down Mahomes and ruining stats. Because that's really all this guy has done ever since he's come in this league. And again, I really should just name drop him.
While you're looking at that,
I don't know why. Matt Nagy. Matt fucking Nagy. This bum.
Yeah.
Matt Nagy is such a fucking loser. Only he could find a way to ruin the Chiefs. But only Andy Reid could be so smart to fucking overcompensate for it. Okay, here's the real sharp handicap is you're betting the number. You're not betting on the Raiders to win. You're not betting on them to be good. Although the Chiefs did fucking lose to the Raiders on Christmas last year in this spot. So I wonder if history repeats. But you're just betting the number and you're betting the spot. It's basically too high of a number. The Raiders could backdoor it, even with Aiden O'Connell.
To give you an idea, buddy, the Chiefs would not have covered this number in any game all year. Their biggest win was by 13 points against the Saints. That's it. They would not cover this number all year. Not once. No covers.
Are you serious?
No covers at this number. Never. None.
Jesus Christ.
So if you bet the Chiefs like at minus 13, I don't. Good luck to you.
The only thing you really are considering is that the Raiders are just that bad. But like, I put the Raiders above the Jets in terms of dysfunction. I put them above the Giants. I would put them honestly above Carolina. Barely at this point, though. I will say Carolina has been performing better as of late, but I want to see it continuously. We know what the Raiders are year in and year out. They don't change. God, yeah, I mean, other than that, like, why the fuck is everyone... This Chiefs line tells me that there's going to be public action. They're just going to see Mahomes against a shit team, and they're going to be like, oh, yeah, Mahomes and the Raiders suck. They literally lost to Denver last week. That's the most Barney fucking side is the Chiefs this week. And I'm just going to be
blowouts.
I'm going to be a pro, and I'm going to bet the fucking number, and because I know better, because I do this on a regular basis. Unlike these fucking clowns who are going to come in, no offense, they're going to come in for the holidays and be like, well, I have $100 to burn. I'm going to bet Chiefs minus 13. And then when they lose, they're going to be like, well, fucking gambling is stupid. I don't know why. Like, this is bullshit. And no, it's because you're a loser. You're a clown. Just like fucking Matt Nagy.
Bro, I'll leave you with this. If you did bet on the Chiefs, Aiden O'Connell is like the worst person to have a quarterback because we know what he's going to do. He's going to throw the checkdowns, hopefully not turn the ball over for us. And let's be honest, the way the Chiefs were covering this line is Gardner Minshew throwing 4 interceptions, 2 for pick sixes, and losing by 30. I don't think that's going to happen. So,
well, Ticketmaster right now is selling tickets for $190. The Chiefs have an 86% win probability. The problem is, like, when you talk about these gambling lines, minus 820, $820 just to get on. Is this the spot you really just want to try this and get cute?
No.
I would say no.
I have a scary feeling that this could be I have a scary feeling that if the Chiefs come out flat, which is possible, the Raiders could win this game.
And it's a Friday spot too. Like it's like, so weird.
It feels like one of those weird Chiefs games where a couple bounces go against them. The Raiders could be in position to win the game. And no offense, I'm betting 820. I don't want to be in a position to lose.
Yeah, Gardner Minshew did play in the last game for the Raiders against the Chiefs, and 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. Was still a backdoor cover, but I mean, just looking at the last game, I mean, the one thing I noticed was that they did not utilize the run game whatsoever. Really doesn't seem like they did much of a difference. It seems like they're still trying to figure out who to utilize, but looks like McCormick seems to be doing okay. 5 carries for 33. Amir Abdullah is now getting the looks. You know Desmond Ritter's not getting the start. I think that's the key. If Desmond Ritter was starting, you throw this handicap out the window. But other than that, I just think the Raiders could do enough to get the cover. And that's where you leave it.
Okay. Well, we did it. That's it.
Yeah, that's our 4 Thanksgiving games, our Black Friday games. Mansman, we seem to be on the same side. We could build a corporate bet if you're interested. We'll talk on the off air because we are running late. One more time, we'll give out the DeGents picks. We're both on the Bears plus the 9.5. I got it at 10.5 though. I personally have the Lions to win. We're both on the under in that game at under 48.5. The Giants and the Cowboys. This is a Cowboy smash spot, minus 3.5. We're both on the over 37.5, especially with Drew Lock at the helm. We will be playing doubles for Drew, where I will give out the rules on our Twitter. So make sure you guys go to x.com/DeGents podcast. Check out our rules for doubles for Drew Lock and have the drinking game ready for Thanksgiving if you can't spend time with your family. That way you can at least find some enjoyment. And then for 8 o'clock, we have Miami at Green Bay. We're both on Green Bay minus 3.5. We're both on the under 47.5 in that spot. And for Black Friday, it is Raiders. I got plus 13. It is going to be my fade of the week. Raiders plus 13. Over under 42.5. I don't think we went over it. I do go over, but not as confident.
I don't have a great feel. I don't have a great feel for that.
The number's low. 42. That's 23-7. Is that 23-17? No, that's 40.
No, that's 40. Yeah.
All right, fuck it. Well, let me see. What did I write down? If I write down over, last week was a big over week, by the way, just so everybody knows. Yeah, I have over 42.5. So yeah, maybe 27-23. I don't know. It could be.
I don't have a good feel for that one.
Yeah, I that's a team totals game for me. I'd be looking at Chiefs under team total in that one. Might change it to under. But, all right, we got nothing left. We're into the closing remarks. Money Management, we got through the 4 games. We will be back Friday. We will be back at a normal time to go over the remaining Sunday games and the Monday Night Football. Denver Broncos up against Jameis Lord Winston and the Brownies. And Bills, your Billies have a Sunday Night Football matchup against the NFC West.
Yeah, against the San Francisco 49ers. We'll see how many people San Fran has available for that game.
Will Brock Purdy play? TBD.
Yeah, I mean, catching him at the right time, so that's good.
That is true. All right, I got nothing left. This will be the end of our episode. You guys have a happy Thanksgiving. Make sure you all be safe. Make sure you all win some motherfucking money. Check out the rest of our episodes. Make sure... remember, winners get to eat, so if you don't start winning your bets Thanksgiving, make sure you don't fix yourselves the plate. Management, final thoughts, comments, or concerns?
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Be safe. Be responsible. Don't drive after playing doubles for Drew. But yeah, no. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Be safe, and we'll catch you after. We'll catch you after the holiday.
Maybe hungover. We'll see.
All right, if I'm not out for the 8 o'clock game, that something went wrong. Hasn't been a good Thanksgiving. So
all right. Well, I'm Big Bucks. I'm Steve Big Bucks Aveda.
I'm the guy on the right signing off.
All right, make that motherfucking money. Winners get to eat. Have a good night.